the forgotten currency that once ruled the world, the true ancestor of the US dollar intro, 00 to 100. Imagine a currency so powerful that it was accepted in nearly every major port, marketplace, and kingdom across the world. From Europe to Asia, Africa to the Americas, merchants trusted it more than almost any other form of money. Yet today, most people have never even heard of it. What's even more surprising is that the history of the modern US dollar is deeply connected to this mysterious currency. So what was this forgotten treasure? How did it become the world's first global currency? And how did it pave the way for the rise of the US dollar? Stay with us until the very end, because the answer may surprise you. Chapter 1. The Rise of Spain, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Our story begins in the late 15th century. At that time, European nations were racing to discover new trade routes and expand their influence across the globe. In 1492, Christopher Columbus set sail under the sponsorship of Spain, embarking on a journey that would change history forever. Following these voyages, Spain established control over vast territories in the Americas. In present-day Mexico, Peru, and other regions of South America, Spanish explorers discovered enormous deposits of silver. One of the most famous was the silver mine of Potosi, located in modern-day Bolivia. The mine produced staggering amounts of silver, transforming Spain into one of the wealthiest and most powerful empires on Earth. But Spain faced an important question. What should they do with all that silver? Chapter 2. The Birth of the Spanish Dollar, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. The answer came in the form of a coin. Using silver from its colonies, Spain began minting a currency known as the Spanish dollar, often called the piece of 8. This coin was made from high-quality silver and had a consistent weight and purity. That may not sound impressive today, but at the time, it was revolutionary. Many currencies circulating around the world varied greatly in quality and were often counterfeited. The Spanish dollar was different. People trusted it. Merchants trusted it. Governments trusted it. And because trust is the foundation of every successful currency, the Spanish dollar quickly spread throughout the world. Chapter 3. The world's first global currency, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Today, when people think of a global currency, they think of the US dollar. But centuries earlier, the Spanish dollar held that position. It was accepted across Europe. It became highly valued in China, where demand for silver was enormous. It circulated throughout the Americas. It was widely used in Africa and parts of Asia. In many regions, it became the preferred currency for international trade. Even pirates and privateers valued the Spanish dollar because it was recognized almost everywhere. For the first time in history, a single currency connected distant continents and cultures through trade. It truly became the world's first global currency. Chapter 4. America's Struggle After Independence. 7 to 9. In 1776, the American colonies declared independence from Great Britain. Winning independence, however, was only the beginning. The new nation faced major economic challenges. There was no unified national currency. Different states used different forms of money. Foreign currencies circulated freely. Trade and commerce became complicated. Ironically, one of the most trusted currencies in America at the time was still the Spanish dollar. People used it every day because it was stable and reliable. The leaders of the young nation realized that if America wanted true economic independence, it needed its own currency. Chapter 5. The Birth of the U.S. Dollar. 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. In 1792, the United States passed the Coinage Act, creating an official national currency, the U.S. dollar. The new currency was heavily influenced by the Spanish dollar. Its value, structure, and even some aspects of its design reflected the currency Americans already knew and trusted. Many historians also believe the famous dollar symbol, dollar, may have evolved from symbols associated with Spanish currency. The connection between the Spanish dollar and the US dollar is so strong that some consider the Spanish dollar to be the direct ancestor of America's modern currency. The United States had created its own money, but its roots stretched back to Spain's Silver Empire. The dollar takes over the world. As the 19th century progressed, the United States grew rapidly. Its industries expanded. Its economy strengthened. Its influence increased. Then came World War I, and later World War II. While much of Europe suffered devastating destruction, the United States emerged as an economic powerhouse. In 1944, representatives from dozens of countries gathered at the Bretton Woods Conference. There, they established a new international financial system. At the center of that system stood the US dollar. The dollar became the world's primary reserve currency and the foundation of global trade. From that point forward, the US dollar inherited the global role once held by the Spanish dollar centuries earlier. Amazing facts you probably didn't know. Here's something fascinating. The Spanish dollar was so trusted in China that many merchants preferred it over local currencies. Even more surprising, the Spanish dollar remained legal tender in the United States until 1857. That means Americans continued using Spanish dollars for decades after the US dollar was officially created. Imagine carrying coins from a foreign empire while living in the United States. That remarkable fact highlights just how influential and respected the Spanish dollar truly was. Few currencies in history have ever achieved that level of global acceptance. So, what was the mysterious currency we mentioned at the beginning? The answer is the Spanish dollar, the legendary piece of 8. It wasn't just a coin. It was the world's first truly global currency. It connected continents, fueled international trade, and laid the foundation for the rise of the modern US dollar. Its legacy still lives on today, every time a dollar changes hands. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. And tell us in the comments, do you think the US dollar will remain the world's dominant currency in the future, or will another currency eventually take its place? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.